Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jules. Welcome to another weekly pivot point. If you're new to my channel, every Wednesday I post a weekly pivot point. It's just a series that I created this year where I sit down, typically midweek. Usually I post these on Wednesdays, and I just mouth vomit. Whatever's on my mind. I give you guys a recap of what I did the past week, how I'm feeling, what my family's up to, just kind of all the little updates, a brain dump, just an outlet for me to just share with you guys and express my emotions and my feelings. Sometimes they're happy, sometimes they're sad, sometimes they're silly. You just never know what you're gonna get. All right, so this past week has actually been pretty good, with the exception of me and my husband being sick. Him more so than me. Oh, there's my dog back here. Chilling on the bed. That's Harper. He doesn't like to be anywhere that I'm not. It's a little ridiculous. Like my husband gets so frustrated with the dogs because I'm home all day long, y'all. Like I hardly ever leave this house unless I have to go to the grocery store. I'm here. So these dogs are just so used to seeing me, or at least knowing that I'm in the house. Coffee break. Y'all, I got pumpkin spice. It's black coffee, but I got pumpkin spice flavored coffee and I love it. I cannot wait for fall, y'all. I do love creamer some days, but it just depends. Most days I drink black coffee, but if I get an iced coffee out somewhere, I like all the sugar stuff when I get an iced coffee, but at home I usually just drink black, sometimes flavored, sometimes not, but so good. Okay. So 2 of our dogs we cannot have together. They fight. I think it's like a power of the pack type thing. So during the day when I'm working, Django is usually in the office with me. He just always has been, like even before we got this guy. So he works in the office with me, he sleeps while I work. And then Harper and Gracie are just out and about. And then of an evening, we trade them off between who's upstairs, who's downstairs, you know, whatever. And it's funny because they do give each other time. It's like, so if we're like chilling in the living room watching a movie or something, Django might be down there, you know, sitting with me, and Harper's upstairs, and he'll give it a little while, but then like if he wants to come downstairs, he starts whining and he's like, it's my turn. And Django does the same thing. They're like, switch. So then we have to swap them and give the other one time downstairs with us. But it's usually not too bad. Like if they can see me or know I'm in the house, they're okay. But if I walk outside of my house, they freak out. Like they will literally start howling. And then they just start barking. So my husband said like they'll just bark every 5 minutes or whine or stare out the window or stare at the door, like waiting for me to come back. And it drives him bananas. So then yesterday when I got home with the groceries, he came out to help me bring the groceries in. And he's like, I'm just going to have to start leaving when you leave. He said, because these dogs are driving me crazy. I mean, I guess he could go grocery shopping with me. He would never. He hates grocery shopping. He hates shopping of any kind. Too funny. Okay, so let's back up to last week. I did my pivot point late Wednesday, so you knew what happened with that. Thursday, I just basically read. That typical Thursday for me is just like chilling at home reading. Friday, I started not feeling well. Jerry was not feeling well since like probably Wednesday evening-ish, I believe. So he stayed home Thursday, and then he stayed home Friday. He just was not feeling good. Friday, I started not feeling well. I had a massive headache, and it just kept getting, I woke up with a little bit of a headache, some sinus stuff, and then it just progressively through the day got worse, and it was awful. And then, so after work Friday, I tried to lay down. I couldn't sleep, but I at least was like resting. So I just laid in my bed for like an hour, and I was just like scrolling on my phone. I tried to sleep, but that wasn't happening. So then I just laid there and scrolled on my phone. I only left the house long enough to go get some crickets for our chameleon and grab dinner. And then I didn't even eat that much because my stomach was upset too. My stomach started getting upset in the middle of the day as well. So I went to bed early. I literally sat in the chair for a little while. And I think it was like just after 8 o'clock. And I told Jerry, I was like, I'm going to go to bed. I was like, I just want to lay in bed. And he's like, yeah, me too. So we went to bed early, watched some TV. That was that. So Saturday, I ended up going and getting some Aleve Cold and Sinus D, which my friend Corinna told me about. Thank you, Corinna, because it helped. It helped a lot. It helped me more so than I think it helped Jerry, but he was more sick than I was. So, but it did help him like get all that drainage out. And then his throat was starting to like really bother him from all the drainage. So yeah, he still wasn't feeling great. And then we did feel well enough to get out and go try a new coffee place in Lee Summit. I think it's called Moon Coffee. It was okay. I mean, like the coffee wasn't like anything spectacular. We just told him to just like pick something and make it for us. And so, I mean, it was good. There were some other drinks on the menu that seemed kind of interesting that I might try out, but like not enough to like make a special trip to go out there. Like if I happened to be in Lee Summit, you know, I would stop by maybe. Yeah. And then we came home and I went and saw my mom, and it was a pretty good visit. And then I ran to Five Below and Target, just kind of browsed a little bit, and then came home. And then we watched a movie. And then Sunday was my birthday. So I made breakfast. We went out to my cousin's lake house and we swam for a couple hours. And then me and my cousin ran out to Brass Armadillo. It's like a huge antique place. I haven't been in there like probably since I was a kid. And I went in and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I totally should have brought Gwen here when she was here. And I just didn't even think about it. But like I mentioned in my vlog, there was just so much to do that we just didn't have time to do everything. So there are still things I plan to do, you know, when she comes back to visit me, hopefully next year. So my cousin has a booth there that she rents to try and sell some things. But yeah, I kind of browsed around there a little bit and I was like, oh, I need to come back out here. It is a ginormous place. And then afterwards, we were going to go grab like a cupcake or something and take it up to my mom, you know, to kind of celebrate my birthday with her and give her a cupcake. So we were right by an area that had a nothing bundt cake. Those are so good, you guys. So we stopped in there, and my cousin, as we're walking in, she goes, I think you get a free bundt cake for your birthday, like the little mini one. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. So we walked in. She goes, yeah, there's like all these freebie things, which I remember my friend Leah, she like went all over in her area to the places that give free stuff. And I was like, oh, I got to remember to do that. And I hadn't, but luckily my cousin mentioned it. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I asked her, the lady, about it. So she's like, yeah, just get the little app and then it like you put your birthday in or whatever. And so I got a free bundt cake. And then Ulta was right next door. So she goes, yeah, go next door to Ulta. They do something too. So I went in there and I got a little free gift. And then there was also a Bath and Body Works right by there, and they had a free birthday gift because she's like, it should be on your app. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, theirs is you have to buy something and then you get something up to $9 free, but there's no minimum you have to buy. So like literally I could buy anything for a few dollars. And luckily their hand soap was on sale for $2.49. I was like, oh, sweet. So, and I love their hand soap. And there was a fall scent. It was called Leather Bound Books. Y'all, it smells so good. So I picked that up. So with tax, I spent like a few dollars, and then I got a free room spray, which the room spray smells so good. Hang on, I'm going to go get it. Okay, I'm back. So I have had a room spray that has lasted forever from them. And I liked it, but I was like, I want to see what other scents they have because it was almost out. So I went in and I got a couple room sprays like a month or so ago. I got Book Loft. This one smells so good. But this one, y'all, is my favorite. It's called Mountainside Mist. Y'all, this smells so good. It has like that like manly cologne smell, but also like clean air. I don't even know how to explain it, y'all, but y'all need to get this, okay? So I knew I loved this. And I was like, if I'm gonna get anything free in here, it's gonna be another bottle of this. So that's what I sure did go in and get. So I got another bottle of that. And then we went up to see my mom and we had cake with her. She only ate a couple bites. She was kind of sleepy. When I went up and saw her the day before on Saturday, the nurse had mentioned that she's not really eating and she's sleeping more. So, which is not great, but we also know that that's one of the things that they usually stop doing is eating. So she had a really good appetite for a while, but now she's just kind of getting to a point where she's not eating that much. So she only ate a couple bites of cake, but she was very chatty. And my cousin was very excited that she was chatting more. She's like, she's talking a lot more. Now, y'all, she didn't make no sense. She didn't make no sense, but she was talking a lot. So that was good. And then Monday, y'all, my husband surprised us. So normally, let me back up a second. So normally we would have gone to dinner on my birthday on Sunday, but Haley had to work, so we couldn't go on my birthday. So we were going to go Monday night. And so when my husband got home, he's like, make sure you're ready to go as soon as you get off work. I have somewhere I need to stop. And I'm like, okay. So he's driving, he takes us, we're going to like an area where like is the opposite way of the restaurant we were going to go to for dinner. So I was like, what does he need out here? And then when we're pulling in this strip mall, I was like, oh, I bet he's taking us to Barnes & Noble to like buy a book or something. So he pulls in and I was like, are we going to Barnes & Noble? And he's like, no. I was like, baby. And then of course he parks and I was like, oh, we're going to Barnes & Noble. So I was like, hey, he's going to buy us a book for our birthday, I bet. And he's just smiling or whatever. So we walk in and then he hands us each a bag and says, you have 5 minutes to fill it. And he's recording. And I was like, so it was like completely unexpected. So I do have a video that I just posted yesterday of us doing our 5-minute shopping spree at Barnes & Noble. It was so fun and so crazy. We got so many books. Yeah, it was just a good time. So definitely go. I'll link it below. Definitely go check out that video. It's so fun. And then yesterday I had to take my dog to the vet, took him to the vet during the day and get all the just old age routine checkup done. So I took Django and he lost some weight, which is good because he's a little potato. And then they did blood work, just like senior panel stuff to make sure everything's good. I'll hear back on that today. And checked his teeth, which that was one of the main reasons. He has awful breath and he has that swollen gum in the front, but she checked it and she's like, as long as it doesn't seem like it's bothering him, it's not affecting his eating. She's like, they didn't really want to put him under to like do any dental stuff right now due to his age. She's like, if it seems like it's getting like irritated or like his gums get really red, then they can try an antibiotic or whatever. So, and then he had his shots and she did say that the spot, because he has the cancer I've mentioned before in some of my videos. Anyone that doesn't know, he does have cancer. He had surgery a few years ago to remove a mass. They didn't get all of it and said he'd have to have surgery again. But it was an extensive surgery, like across his like knee area, inner thigh, knee. And it was like his incision was really big and it was a little rough recovery. Like he had to be watched like all the time. It did grow back. So the doctor said he knew he didn't get most of the margins. He didn't get all the margins around it. So he said it's probably going to grow back and have to have another surgery. Well, a few years later, here we are and he's older. So we just decided, that we're just going to let him keep his cancer and just let him live his best life until, he can't. But he seems fine with it. It is growing. So he literally has a cancer sac hanging off of his leg. But we did notice another spot under his armpit and it felt more like a solid mass than a fatty tumor. And she did confirm that it did also, she thought it felt like that. She said we could test it if we want to, but like to confirm it, but we're like, no, we already know. I mean, he obviously has cancer. So if it pops up anywhere else, it's okay. So other than that, he got the all clear, good check. Hopefully, I don't know, I haven't heard back on the labs yet, but hopefully that comes back good. And then after work, I went to the grocery store and then I came home and I finally had a chance to read through the back of all my books. There's probably at least, I think there's about 4 books that I'm just kind of like, eh. So I wasn't sure about like the synopsis on the back. And then when I checked the Goodreads, I was like, dang. So I think I'm going to probably take 4 books back. But before I take them back, I'm going to do a little try a chapter reading vlog. So just a quick little mini vlog reading the first chapter of the books to see if I really want to take them back I'm pretty sure I do, but all right, you guys, it is about time for me to start work. So I am going to head out and I will catch up with you next week. Oh, before I go, I almost forgot. Do you all notice my lovely jammies that I have on? My friend Gwen got me these. They are so comfortable. Look at that. Books and plants. They're so soft. I love them. Thank you so much, Gwen. Okay, now, per usual, in the comments below, let me know how you're doing, what you've been up to, what you're reading. Do you need me to pray over anything for you? Make sure to like this video, subscribe if you are not already, and I appreciate every single one of you being here. Until my next video, friends, be yourself, be awesome, be kind. Bye.